Dr. Williams had always been a disciple of tolerance, and no one was a greater fighter. No one was a greater leader. In America, we had W.E.B. Du Bois. In the West Indies, we had Dr. Eric Eustace Williams. Now both men, too large for a nationality or a single region, in this treasured collection which we open today, generations to come will find the clear and definitive proof of all that this man stood for. And may this collection educate and inspire many generations to come.
What he did for Trinidad and Tobago was an expression of love.
No one was a greater fighter. No one was a greater leader than Dr. Williams.
Trinidad's man for all seasons, Dr. Eric Williams.
He was a rare gift to this world's inhabitants.
Dr. Williams made it possible for me to get an education.
He fostered racial unity.
Eric Williams was also an activist, a public intellectual.
He helped to bring us to adulthood and to make men and women of the Caribbean people.
Dr. Williams certainly did bring women to the forefront and gave them responsibilities.
He understood not just the beauty of culture, but the strength of culture and the importance of culture in a society.
I respected the man for his intellect.
To set up a nation and breathe life into it and provide the principles by which that nation then can live and live on indefinitely. That is a remarkable contribution.
Nobody said Shaka Ramos was exchanged for a few old battleships.
In 1941, Great Britain had negotiated a 99-year lease without the ratification of the Trinidad and Tobago Legislative Council, whereby America would occupy the area as a military base. By now Premier, Dr. Williams vigorously protested this new form of outrage. This led the Americans twice to consider removing him from office. On a rainy April 22, 1960, Williams raised the consciousness of the citizenry to reclaim their soil. He led a peaceful march from Woodford Square to the U.S. Embassy. Reportedly, some 60,000 joined in. 7 years later, the Americans finally departed on the most favorable terms for Trinidad and Tobago. Self-determination, democracy, independence.
There was tough negotiations for our becoming an independent country in 1962. Meetings with the opposition at Marlborough House in England. He was able to compromise and achieve the goal that he set for.
Representatives from over 50 nations were present when the Union Jack was lowered, marking the end of alien rule. On the stroke of midnight, our own national flag, red, white and black, rose gracefully to the top, marking the attainment of freedom. Heads of religious bodies offered prayers to God to guide the new nation faithfully in the paths of democracy and peace. There was rejoicing among the people gathered in the University of Woodford Square that freedom had come, that the soil which their ancestors from many lands and of divers races had watered with their blood and sweat and tears had become their own to shape and to fashion. The rejoicing was marked by dignified restraint in keeping with the call to discipline by the Prime Minister, who in 6 brief years had led its people from colonialism to nationhood.
The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more, than the right to vote, and 1 vote for every man and every woman of the prescribed age. Democracy means recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization. All that is democracy. All that is our democracy, to which I call upon all citizens to dedicate themselves on this our Independence Day. This is what I meant when I gave the nation as its slogan for all time: discipline, production, tolerance. Our national flag belongs to all citizens. Our national coat of arms with our national birds inscribed therein is the sacred trust of all our citizens. So it is today. Please, I urge you, let it always be so. Let us always be able to say with the psalmist, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity."
You, the children, yours is the great responsibility to educate your parents. Teach them to live together in harmony. To your tender and loving hand, the future of the nation is entrusted. In your innocent heart, the pride of the nation is enshrined. On your scholastic development, the salvation of the nation is dependent. You carry the future of Trinidad and Tobago in your school bag.
There can be no Mother India, no Mother Africa, no Mother England, and no dual loyalties. There can be no Mother China, no Mother Syria, and no Mother Lebanon. A nation, like an individual, can have only one mother. The only mother we recognize is Mother Trinidad and Tobago, and Mother cannot discriminate between her children.
Williams oversaw the new Constitution. He enshrined the framework for its democracy. Together we aspire. Together we achieve.